Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Latoya Dowdell-Burger, and I am your board vice president. And I am here to do one of my Black History book reads. Something that's kind of near and dear to me, as my family was a part of the Great Migration from the South to the North. That's how I'm here in Ohio, because on both sides, my mom and my dad's side of the family, their parents came from my mom's side. My mom's parents came from Alabama. My dad's parents came from Georgia. So this book is called This is the Rope, a story from the Great Migration by Jacqueline Woods, illustrated by James Ransom. So I thought I'd share this book with you as it kind of, goes with me. So here we go. So this is the Rope, a story from the Great Migration. And we'll skip this page, but it says this book is dedicated to the more than 6 million African Americans who left the unjust conditions of the South for a better life in the North from the early 1900s until the 1970s. My mother and grandmother were among them. I thank you all for your courage and for making a way out of no way. And then there's some in memory by. So this is the rope my grandfather found beneath an old tree a long time ago back home in South Carolina. This is the rope my grandmother skipped. My grandmother skipped under the shade of a sweet smelling pine. This is the rope. This is the rope my grandfather used to tie a few things they owned to the top of the car that drove my grandmother, who was my mother, who was a mother now from South Carolina, all the long way to a place called New York City. This is the rope my grandmother held tight to as my grandfather drove real slow past the people in the big city buildings that seemed to go on and on. This is the rope my grandmother used to dry sweet smelling flowers she grew in the small window boxes. Re, re, I'm sorry, I'm trying to see, guys, so I don't mess up. Reminding her of the flowers back home, where the land, she said, went on and on. Now, this is the rope my grandmother strung so that my mama's diapers could blow dry in the hot city breeze. This is the rope my mama tied around a small duck's neck, then pulled it along, singing quack, 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 quack. This is the rope my mama held out to girls on the block from her new Brooklyn block, a home of their own that they family finally owned. This is the rope my mama first tripped on as she sang with her friends. Miss Lucy had a baby. She named him Tiny Tim. This is the rope mama's brothers took from her room for some crazy game that little boys play. This is the rope my mama found again 10 years later when my grandfather said, "We need a bit of rope to tie these things down inside her car, like that rope we used to have from back home." Then he drove with my mama off to college, far away from the city, while up at the window, my grandmother waved. This is the rope my mama placed on the piano around the family photos, and and me, just a baby, and then a bit bigger, already reaching for it. This is the rope my daddy used when he showed me the way to tie a sailor's knot. 2 times around and pull it real tight. You want whatever you make or do in your life, my daddy said, to last. This is the rope my mama turned as she waved to my daddy and taught me to sing Miss Lucy's song out on our sidewalk right here in Brooklyn just last Friday night. This is the rope that held up the sign saying, "We are all family," at our picnic reunion in the big park up the street from our home. This is the rope, third threadbare and gray, that I traded with my grandma for a brand new one. Then I jumped a new jump. B, my name is Beatrice. I come from Brooklyn. As my family smiled proudly and the sun began setting as grandma held on to her rope from back home. And her long ago memory of sweet smelling pine. The end. What does your family take with them on their journey to a new beginning? Something to think about. But this story was about the Great Migration. And as I stated, my mom's family and my dad's family, when they were smaller, they relocated from the South for the Great Migration. I know my grandfather on my dad's side, my dad's dad, he relocated to work the railroad tracks here in Ohio. And then my grandfather on my mom's side, he this was his last duty station here in Ohio, but he moved around because he was in the Air Force and retired. And my other grandfather was also Army, but did not stay in to retire. But my grandfather on my mom's dad did. So that story was a great story. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this is the rope, a story about the Great Migration, and tune in later for another story. Thanks. Bye.